Hey, this is Lee. I want to do a quick video about love, what true love is. So many times I've watched over the years. I'm 52, so I've had an opportunity to observe what people do with their love. And I've seen so many times that people love one and hate the other one. But before we get into that, let's look at the scriptures. John 13:34. Jesus says, "A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. By this all men will know ye are my disciples, if you love one to another." So here's my question. Jesus commands us, right? He's saying, I give you a new commandment. Now he's commanding this, that you love one another as I've loved you, that ye also love one another. And by doing this, people will know that you're his disciples because how he loved. Do you think that Jesus loved in levels? Do you think he loved Peter more than John, or John more than James the less? No. He loved them all the same. Here we go. Do you think that he loved his disciples more than he loved the people that they met in the streets or in a field or a valley or beside the Gethsemane or beside the lake? No, he loved them all the same. He loved the little, the big, the small, the dirty, the clean, the left and the right. And even at one point they said to him, they asked the disciples, "Why does your master eat with beggars and prostitutes and the homeless?" And they questioned why. And he said, and Jesus, knowing that what they were thinking and what was said, he said, "The healthy don't need a physician, but the sick." What Jesus did was love equally. So my question is, and it's odd, but how do we love one child and not love the other one the same? How do we love our sons, but we don't love our daughter-in-laws? How is it we love this part of the church and the ones that's in our inner circle, but we don't love the person that's coming in for the first time? Why do people pick who to love and who not to? Here's the thing. If you can't love people equally, then you don't have the love of God in you at all. Because what we love, if we love with our head, then we love that one. But this one, not so much. We'll love her, but him, I don't know. I just don't know. See, that's in the flesh. That's in the head. That comes from head religion. If we love the way God intended for us to love, we'll love everybody equal, because what we're sharing in love comes from him through our hearts. And we love everyone the same. I love that pastor, but I don't like the assistant pastor. I like that deacon, but I don't like that deacon. See what I'm saying? Because if we are doing what Jesus said to do, then we'll love people equally. There won't be an imbalance of who we love and how we love. Now listen to what Jesus said. "Ye have heard that it has been said, Thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, and do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you, that ye may be the children of your Father which is in heaven. For he maketh the sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust. For if you love them which love you, what reward have you? Do not even the publicans the same? And if ye salute your brethren only, what do you more than others? Do not even the publicans so? Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect." Do we only salute the ones that we know? Are there people in church that we show love to this one, but we don't to that one? Do we look down on people because they don't wear the clothes we wear? They don't drive the cars we drive. They don't have the jobs we have. I mean, what is it exactly that we think we're doing? Because if we can't love equally for every person, I love my sons, my daughters, I love their spouses, I love their children. I don't love one grandchild greater than the other. I have an equal love for everyone. My mother-in-law I love as much as my mother. My father-in-law I love as much as my father. You see what I'm saying? Should all be the same. Whenever we do this, we'll say, I love my kids and I'll take my kids over my husband, or I love my kids and I'll take them over my wife. This is not God's love. This is not where your love's coming from. It's coming from your head and not from your heart. And I've said this before on my channel. My mom said to me before that I went to the altar and was saved. She said, Lee, this was before this. She said, Lee, you don't know how to love your kids until you're born again, until you're saved. And I said, Mom, you're crazy. You've lost your mind. I love my kids. Well, as it turns out, after I got saved, I seen my kids through different eyes, and it was true. With God, I could love people better. I could love my children better. I could love my parents better, my aunts and uncles and cousins and even distant relatives. I love them the same as I love the people that sit next to me in church. I love everyone that way. My question to you is there people that you love more and less? If so, then that's not right in the eyes of God, because he says it right here in verse 48. Matthew, get me fired up. In Matthew 5:48, I got to check my scriptures. Be ye perfect, therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. If you want to please God and you want to be like his Son, if you want to be perfect like God and strive to, because you can't be perfect here, but to strive to, you will love everyone the same. You won't reject one. It breaks my heart when I see someone love this one greater than that one. I'll see a step parent love a step child less than they love their own blood child. I'll see step children love the stepfather less than they love their father. Because, see, when this happens, when we love this one and we reject that one and we pull this one into our inner circle and we push that one out, we're showing that we're publicans and sinners, not born-again Christians, not followers of Christ. Remember what he said as we started. A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you. How did he love them? He loved them so much that he took the persecution while he was walking with them. He loved them so much that he took the cross in all of our place. And he loved us all so much that he rose from the dead. And he walked 40 days and ascended up to his Father. Can you imagine what it was like that day when Jesus came home? He'd been here. He was born in a manger. And he spoke with God. He talked with God. But for 33 and a half years, he was away from God. Now, can you imagine what happened when they treated him so badly, and God for a second, just for a second, was the furthest away from his Son. And he said, Father, why hast thou forsaken me? Can you imagine? For 3 days he laid in the tomb. He woke up and they went out to see him, and Mary turned and seen him, supposing he was the gardener. And she said, could you tell me, please, where they laid my master? Her heart was broke. And he said, Mary, don't touch me. I've not ascended to my Father. Can you imagine what a homecoming that was when Jesus walked through the gates? When he walked into the throne room of God and walked up to his Father? Can you imagine what it was like? How he loved his Son. And what a greeting that was. See, that's the way we're supposed to love one another. The way Jesus loved us. The way God loved his Son. Can you imagine what it's going to be like one day after a while? I'm 52. And one of these days I'm going to go home and I'll walk right in through the throne room and I'll stand before God. And he loves me and he loves you. But he loves us all the same. See, we're not supposed to love this one better and that one worse. We're not supposed to lift this one up and push that one down, or just forget about somebody. If you are born again, if you're truly a Christian, if you're a follower of Christ, you will love everyone equally the same, because the love that comes from God out of heaven will fill your heart completely. And then you'll know. He said perfect love casts out all fear. Do you ever wonder how that happens? It's because when you get the love of God, it will so fill your heart and your life that there's no room for anything but love. There's no room for fear. There's no room for hate. There's no room to push one off and draw one in. Perfect love. Perfect love held Jesus to the cross. It wasn't the nails. It was that perfect love. So I want you to examine your life today. Look at how you love people. Do you love people through the eyes of God, through the heart of God? Do you see them that way? If you don't, then you need to go to an altar and you need to pray and say, Lord, give me this heart of flesh and take away my stony heart. Help me to see people through your eyes and love the way you love. All equal. Sons-in-laws, daughters-in-law, parent and step-parents, neighbors, co-workers, people in the church that sit over on the left and the back, the same as the ones that sit where you are. Love the pastors, all of them, all the deacons. Love the people that work in the grocery store, those that labor in the field. We should love the way he loved. And when we do this, then we'll be on our way to being perfect. That perfection that he's talking about right here when he said, be ye perfect, even as your Father which in heaven is perfect. How? Because he loves us equally. He loves you as much as he loves me. And he loves that person as much as he loves me. It's all the same because love is love. It has no degrees, no levels. We can't put it in this category and love kids differently. We love husbands and parents and whoever. Love is love. It's neutral, it's pure, and it's gentle. That's my video today. I wanted to share that with you. We need to start loving people the way God does. All the same, with a pure heart. I love you wherever you are in the world. It doesn't matter whether you live in Europe or you live in Russia or you live in Asian countries, you live in Arabic countries, or the islands in the Pacific, the Philippines, or wherever you're at, no matter what state here in the United States you live in. I love you, and I want you to go to heaven. Love somebody today. If you notice somebody that you just didn't love well enough, then go tell them you love them and show them. Here's the thing, and I'm going to close. Here's the thing. It's easy to say, I love you. It's easy to show people love through little things, but can they feel your love? Don't you believe that when a person's born again and they're walking in the will of God, they can feel his love? We should feel each other's love in our hearts. We should be so full of love that it moves our neighbor to love better. I love you no matter where you are. If you're in Australia, I love you. If you're in Canada, I love you. And that's the love I'm talking about today. Be blessed in Jesus' name. Love you one another. Show someone you love them today. And I'm going to try to get off here without crying. But we need to love better. Be blessed in Jesus' name. And I'll be back soon. Bye.